Hi everyone, this Ms.Fatema here. This is a recorded message for year 4. So hello Brighton, I hope you're all keeping well, safe and warm and sound. And yeah, during this distant learning, it's not easy for us, but we just have to make the most of it. As I said, this is a recorded session. I'll be seeing you twice a week, one through a recorded session like this one, and the other time through a live session, which I'm really excited about. Through both the live and the recorded sessions, we will be using these sessions to improve on our reading and phonics, actually more phonics than reading, because reading comes after phonics. So yeah, we'll be using these sessions for phonics and reading. And I know that you can all read, but we just want to get to the roots to start reading correctly and phonetically and with the correct pronunciation and everything, and I'm going to help you do that. Okay, so yeah, during this session I will be talking to you about this website, Oxford Owl, and because reading is very, very important, and here this website Oxford Owl has got some fantastic reading resources, very good reading resources, basically I want you to go to this website. I want you to go and go to class login. I've created an account for you. Go with the username harvest and a password reading, and I want you to look for book band 3+. Okay, I want you to look for book band 3+ in that website once you logged in. And if 3+ is too difficult for you, go perhaps look at book band 3 or maybe 2+. The main thing for you to do is that you're able to read at ease, and that you're enjoying the reading, and that you're not decoding. If you see yourself decoding in a sense that you're sounding out the word before you read it, then you need to go to a level lower. You need to see yourself like you're reading fluently, and when you do that repetitively over and over again, then you can move up a level. Yeah, so your aim is 3+. If it's too hard, please go to 3 or 2+ by logging onto that website. Enjoy the rest of the recorded video, and I will be seeing you live during our live sessions. Okay, before our lesson, there's just some housekeeping rules that I want to go through for the session to be successful today. Now, what do I mean by housekeeping rules? Now, housekeeping rules, this is a term that you can use when you're at home, when you're at school, basically just to remind the children or the people watching that there are certain things they have to do for the session to be successful. So housekeeping rules, remember that term, yeah? So today, for our housekeeping rules, in order that our session is successful, I want you all not to have any distractions around you. So not to have any toys around you, any things that might distract your session. I want you to be sitting nice and tall, backs nice and straight, and I want you to be sitting comfortably. Basically, if you are hungry, just make sure you go and eat before you start listening to this session. I don't want you to be eating during the session, because that might just distract you. I want you to be fully concentrated. If you've got a chewing gum, please get rid of it. And yes, so those are our housekeeping rules for our sessions. I need you to have a pen and a notebook for your session, a notebook or a copybook. I need a pen and a notebook. Any notebook would do. I've got my notebook. A notebook is just a book that you can write on, basically. And a pen, please. So a pen and a notebook, please, because we'll be writing things during the session. And one more important thing for our session is I need you to have a partner. Now, what are we going to do about this? You are not in class. I think some of you will have your siblings with you during the session, your brother or sister, but majority, most of you will not have a brother or a sister in a class. So you may be sitting there on your own, and you're not in class, you're at home, you're watching this recorded video at home, but I still need you to have a partner that you can talk to during the session. So what are we going to do about this? That's right, you can find any partner in the house. It doesn't have to be a real person. It can be your mummy or daddy, or it can be a toy. It can be a cuddly toy. If you have a cuddly toy, they can be your partner during the session. Just make sure they're sitting next to you, nice and quiet, very politely, because I'll be telling you to talk to your partner. Remember, we used to do this in class a lot. Turn and talk to your partner. Turn and talk to your partner. Or turn to your partner and say so and so. It's very important, partner talk. So you can have anything for a partner, either a soft toy. If you haven't got a soft toy, it can be any type of toy, a spider if you want. You can have a fluffy thing as a partner, it's up to you. You can have a star for a partner. Or you can have a shell, a nice seashell for a partner. But whatever you do, don't have a chocolate for a partner. Because if you have a chocolate for a partner, what are you going to do to it? You're going to eat it. So no chocolate for a partner. Good. So partners talking sorted. Now I have a partner. Some of you have seen my partner. So some of you haven't. He's a very, very cool guy. And he is very friendly too. He likes you all. He likes all children, and he's very good at telling stories as well. His name's Badger. Badger. Yes. Say hello, Badger. Hello, children. Right. Okay. So you're just gonna have to sit there quietly and just only come when I call you for assistance. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Badger. Now you may go and sit there nicely. Okay. There. Badger just stays there nicely. No distraction. Okay? Thank you, Badger. So, that's my partner. You find a partner. And now in this recorded session, we'll be going through 3 things. The first part of this session is the housekeeping that we've just been through, the introduction. So that's part number 1. The second part of this recorded video is the main part, and that's the reading and phonics. Yeah. And the third part is the story. Yeah. So we'll have 3 parts to our recorded sessions: the housekeeping, introduction, housekeeping, reading and phonics, and the story part. So now we're swiftly going to move on to our second part of this recorded session, and that's the reading and phonics. Now, perhaps I should say phonics and reading, yeah, because children learn phonics before they are able to read. Now, I know a lot of you can read, and a lot of you can read very beautifully, but I just, as I mentioned in a video before, it's very, very important that we can read correctly, with the correct pronunciation and the correct sounding of letters. And yeah, so what is phonics? Phonics is basically a way of teaching children how to read and write effectively, how to become proficient and fluent readers. Yeah, and to read like a storyteller, not just like decoding. So if you're going to tell a story, for example, there was once a bird who lived high up on a tree, way up high. I told you that story as a storyteller. There was once a bird who lived way up high on top of a tree. But if you're just going to read it as a decoding way, you would say, there was once a bird who lived at the top of a tree way up high. Doesn't sound very beautiful, does it? No. But better to read it as a storyteller, like I said before. So that's what I will be teaching you during these sessions. And so now I will be going through the sounds. The sounds are basically the alphabets. It's better that we refer to them as sounds. They are letters, but they make sounds. And it's the sounds that help us read correctly. Okay? So for today, I'm just going to look through my script. And yes, we've recapped too. Now, I will be using a certain set of sounds each week. And just a second, please. Yeah, so as I was saying, I'll be using a set of sounds each week, plus some phonics books to help me help me teach you these sounds effectively. And I have here, I'm just going to show you the books that I will be using. They are from Oxford Reading Tree. They are very good books. And they start from book number 1, and they go all the way to book number 36. Yeah, so they'll take you through all the stages basically, inshallah. So yeah, and so this week I'll start with 2 books. These 2 books, book number 1 and book number 2, they will have 2 sets of sounds. Okay? S, A, T, P. And we have I, N, M, D. We will go through these in more detail now. I've written them in separate cards just to make it easy for you. So let's look at the cards. This is the first set. Yeah, so I'm going to say the sounds first, and I just want you to listen. Yeah, are you all sitting comfortably? Sitting nice and tall, backs nice and straight, okay? No distractions around us. We have A, T, S, P. I'm just going to say these again. A. This time I want you to repeat after me. A. T, T, S, P. Some of you make the mistake of making the sound go very far. So this is, some of you say purr. This is not purr, it's p, p. Okay? And this is not ah. Some of you say ah. That's incorrect. This is ah. And this is not ta. It's t, t, t. And this is s, s. It's not sa. Sa is wrong. Okay? S. Now this time you're going to read it. I'm going to do my turn, your turn. P. A. T. Now, okay. Now, I'm going to go through I'm going to scribble them up. And I want you to just say them very quickly as soon as the card turns. What's it gonna be? Very good. You're very good at your speed sounds. Turn to your partner and say, I have learnt my speed. I have learnt my speed sounds. Very good. Thank you, Badger. I'm now quickly going to go through the first book, because the first book has got these sounds that we've just looked at. So, book number 1. Yeah? So I'm going to point at the sound and I want you to read it. Very good. Very good sounding. Now, okay. What do we have here? Can you see? Or maybe I should move this way. Might be more comfortable for me. Yeah, can you see? What do we see here? What are these people? Where are these people? We have a group of people and they are at the... I can hear some of you shouting there saying beach. That's right, they're all at the beach. And what do we have at the beach there? Sun. That's right, there's a sun. What else do you see in the picture? Can you see what she's wearing in her feet? She's wearing sandals. That's right. Yeah. And what is she wearing on her head? She's wearing a sun hat. Turn to your partner and say sun hat. Good. And what do you see over there at the far end? What's that blue liquid? That's the sea. That's right. Because they're at the beach. You need to see some sea at the beach, right? And what do you have at the beach? You have sea and what's this matter here? This white stuff on the ground. Is that sand? That's right. So, what else do you see in the picture? He is wearing what? Socks. That's right. That begins with a S as well. Can you see what she's wearing? What's that yellow thing the girl's wearing? Skirt. That's right. How about... what else do you see? Do you see a spade? Where's a spade? Can you spot the spade? There's a red spade there. That's right. That tool there for shifting the sand, it's called a spade. Yeah? Turn to your partner and say, a spade is for playing with the sand. A spade is for playing with the sand. Say that same thing to your partner. A spade is for playing with the sand. That's right. Badger, you need to sit there so I can see you more clearly. Okay. Thank you, Badger. You're such a good partner. Thank you. Okay. Can you also see some... what's that big thing that they've built in there? It's a sand castle. That's right. And can you see some stripes? Can you see some stripes? stripes. Look at his shirt. He's wearing a stripy shirt. Stripe means lines, yeah? His shirt is lined. And can you see people? Can you see anyone with a nice smile? Look, she's got a nice smile. Okay? And they are all at the seaside. That's right. This place is either the beach or seaside. Yeah? Do you like going to the seaside? Me too. Turn to your partner and say, I like going to the seaside. Good. Okay. Now, that was a s. Now let's move on to the next sound. And that is ah. Ah. That's the capital and that's the small. Ah. Ah for apple. I can see some of you shouting the answer. Thank you. Ah for apple. Now, what's happening in this picture? What is going on? I can see lots of people. Yeah? Where are they? They are at some sort of market, I think, with different stalls. Some people are selling things. Some people are playing games. I think it looks like a fairground. I'm sorry, I thought it was a market. I think it's a fairground. Where it's a fairground is like a fun fair place, yeah? Where you go to play games and buy lots of delicious food, yeah? And go on rides as well. Do you like going on rides? Yeah? I don't like going on rides. I get scared. Yeah? If you like going on rides, turn to your partner and say, I like going on rides. Good. Now, what do we see here that begins with either begins or has a sound ah in it? Okay? Let's have a look. What's that lovely lady wearing? She's wearing an orange kind of jacket with a hood. That kind of jacket is called a anorak. Anorak. Yeah? Can you say anorak? Yeah? Now an anorak is a type of jacket that is thick. It's probably got some fur inside it. And it's most often it's got a hood. So she's wearing an anorak. It's another word for a coat, basically. And what does she have in her hand? She's got a cat. Look, the word cat has got the sound ah in the middle. Okay? What else? Oh, that man at the back there, he's wearing a hat. That's right. And who is he? He is Dad. Okay? So they're all at the fun fair, having fun. So so we're now doing the second sound. We've done s, and now we're doing s, ah. What are the things you can see that begin or have the sound ah in them? Just look at that picture. What else do you see? Can you see animals? Animals. Look, I can see teddy bears. I can see a little cat. I can see a snake. So all sorts of different animals. And they all begin with ah. That's right. And what's Dad getting out of his wallet? Have a look. He's getting cash. What is cash? Money, yeah? He's getting some cash out of his wallet to buy something. And we've talked about a cat. And we can see a man. And what's the man doing? He's got his hand out. Hand. And that's got the sound ah. Okay, let's move on to the next sound now. And we have t. We've got the sound t. That's right. Now what is going on? What's this picture? Where are these children at? And what are they doing? Yeah? Are they at the seaside? No, no, no. Oh, Badger thinks they're not. Are they at school in a classroom? No, no, no. Oh, no, they're not. Are they at a football pitch? Yes, yes. Badger thinks they're at a football pitch. Do you agree with Badger? Yes, they are at a football pitch. Now we've got that's our next sound here. And let's see what's happening at the football pitch. First thing we see there, the ball is going in a net. Yeah? So, teddy. And the children, they're wearing, what are they wearing in their feet? They're all wearing boots. That's right, boots. Boots are the type of shoes they're wearing. Is a type of shoe, basically. Okay? And the children, the girls, it's a girls versus boy team, I think. And they're all wearing shorts. Short trousers, basically. Okay? And that's been kicked up in the air is that round thing is a football. It's got a t in the middle. Football. Yeah? And so, t. Okay, what other things can you see in the picture that has got the sound t in them? Look, she's smiling and she's showing her teeth. Yeah? Have you got clean teeth? Yeah? Do you brush morning and night? That's good. Turn to your partner and say, I've got clean teeth. Good. Teeth. Oh, and look. Trainers. And basically, it's another word for boots or shoes. They're all wearing trainers. Yeah? And she's got a ponytail. Yeah? When some girls, sometimes when they comb their hair, they put their hair at the back and it's dangling, and that type of hair is called a ponytail. Okay? And is there anyone who's wearing a stripy shirt? Stripes. Striped. Stripe. Okay? What else do we see? Trousers. Can you see anybody wearing trousers? Yes, I can see some of you shouting there. He's wearing trousers and he's wearing trousers. That's right. Okay. And the last sound from this book is a p. P. Okay? Now, let's look at some words that have got the sound p. We have got pat. Okay? When you pat something is like almost doing that. Okay? Pat. Sat. So these are some of the older sounds, basically. And we've got tap. Again, tap is when you tap on something. So let's see what's happening. Where is this picture, first of all? Where are the children in this picture? Yeah? If you think they're all in the kitchen, give yourself a pat on the back. Yeah? That's just a way of saying, well done. Give yourself a pat on the back if you think they're in the kitchen. And so what do we see in this frame here? We see a picture. What else do you see? Pot. Pot is a cookery tool, cooking utensil basically. It's for cooking. A pot is for cooking stews and things like that. And you can also see a pan. If you want to fry eggs or pancake, you fry them in a pan. And who do we see here? This boy, his name is Chip. He's got a P in his name. Okay? What else do we see in this picture? Do you see a pear? Look closely in the fruit bowl. Look. Pear. It's a lovely green pear. Do you also see a plate? Look, there's some plates. Yeah? And do you see some grapes? Grapes. Look, lovely green grapes. Can you see them there in the fruit bowl? Grapes. Yeah? And do you also see a spoon? Spoon. It's got a P in the middle. Spoon. She's banging the pot, making lots of noise. Yeah. So that's the end of the 4 sounds from this book. We've done these sounds. S, A, T, P. Now I want you to get your pen and paper because we'll be writing these. Okay? I just want to show you the correct way of writing them. Okay? So, first we're going to write the sound S. How do you write S? You have to start at the top. You go round and round, down again and stop. Yeah? So let's do that again. Let's do it again. On your piece of paper, we go round and down and round back again. S. Okay? If you've done a S, give yourself a tick. Let's move on to the next sound. Okay? The next sound is A. Now, how do we write A? Watch. Look at the way I'm writing. Yeah? We start from the top. You go around and down. You go up there and flick. Okay? Let me do that again, just so that you see what I've done. On your pieces of paper, you start at the top. You go round and up and down again and flick. Yeah? Do A. It's a small A. Okay? Write it in your piece of paper and then give yourself a tick. We're going to move on to the next sound. This time we're going to write the sound T. Okay? So watch the way I do. We go down and flick. And then the middle part. Okay? Did you see the way I did it? Yeah? Down and flick. And the cross. Okay? If you've done that on your piece of paper, just give yourself a tick. If this recording is going too fast for you, remember you can pause. Okay? Remember you can pause. Just in case if I'm going too fast. Okay? I'm just going to rub it off to move on to the last sound of this book. And that's the sound P. Now look carefully at how I move the pen. First of all, I go round and I go up again and I go do the curve. Okay? So I'm just going to rub that off. That's a P. Just so that you see how I did the pen. Alright? You go down the same line. You go up again and turn around. That's your sound P. Okay? If you've done it like that, give yourself a tick. Alright? Now we're going to move on to the spelling part of our recorded session. I'll be telling you some words from the sounds that we've learnt today. and I want you to write them down, and then we will check for correction at the end, okay? So the first word that I want you to write down is sat. Now, in order to help you spell it correctly, I want you to sound it out. S-at. Use your left hand to sound it out. S-at. Sat. And write it down. Okay? The next word is pat. Okay? It's like earlier on, I said to you, pat. Pat yourself at the back to say well done. Pat is when you pat someone or pat something. All right? And so pat, let's sound it out. Pat. Okay, I want you to write that down. Pat. The next word is taps. That's our last word. Taps. Now let's try and sound it out with our left hand. T, a, p, s, t, a, p, s. Taps. Yeah? Did you write that down? Okay, now let's go and look at what we have written down. The first word was sat. If you've got an s, give yourself a tick. If you've got a give yourself a second tick. And a t, a third tick. Sat. Good. The next word was at. If you got a p, give yourself a tick. If you got a give yourself a tick. And lastly, if you have a t at the end, give yourself a tick. And the third and last word was taps. Taps. A tick for t, a tick for a tick for p, and a tick for s. Yeah? If at any point you feel like I'm going too fast, just pause it, yeah? So please self-correct, self-mark. Check that you've got the spelling correctly. Okay? So that's the end of the first book from the first set of sounds. And we will look at the second set of sounds now, which is book number 2. Here we go. I'm going through 2 books, or maybe 3 sometimes, because these are all things that you've done in the past. All we're doing is we're recapping, and we're just pronouncing them correctly. So if you're getting, if you think, I hope you're not finding it too much, basically, because it's simple stuff, and we're just going through it quickly. Okay, so let me just find my sounds. Baja, you need to sit there nicely. Don't move about too much. Okay, and here are my sounds. Okay, so this is the second set of sounds that we'll be doing. So I'll do my turn, your turn. First, let me just say them all together first. So we've got I. We have D, T, D. We have N, N. And we have Okay, so now my turn, your turn. I. D. Okay. N. M. Sorry, even teachers can make mistakes sometimes. It's not M, it's M. Thank you. So let's go through them very quickly. Speed sounds now. Very good. Very good. Let's look at the book now. And here's the book. It's going through the same sounds that we've just been through. I, n, m, d. Okay. Okay. So we have I, insect. I, insect. Insect is a type of bug, basically. Okay? And we've got some words there. We have I, it, sit, pit, and tip. We have got a picture there. What's happening in that picture? Where are these people? Oh, we've got Daddy there. He's lying on a bed. And what's wrong with his leg? Has he broken his leg? Yeah? Has Daddy broken his leg?
Yes.
Badger, you think he's broken his leg? Where do you think that these people are?
At the hospital.
Badger thinks these people are at the hospital. Do you agree with Badger? I agree too. I think they're at the hospital. Yeah? There's Mummy and Chip and Biff and... What's Daddy lying on? He's lying on a pillow. He's lying on a pillow. I just saw a message there. And what other words can you find in the picture? Yeah, you've got earrings. There's a sound E. And there's a... Is there a pin? Yes, look. There's a pin. And, oh, look. They have got a gift for Daddy. Yeah? And Daddy's hanging his leg on a sling. This kind of thing that's tied to his leg to lift it up is called a sling. Now the next sound is net. Oh, look. The lady's got a very tall nose. Can you see her nose? Oh. And amongst the crowd, there's a man. Man. And on top of the tree, can you see a... For the bird, what is it? Nest. That's right. Okay. Oh, the next sound is What's happening in that picture? They are at the countryside. And he's cycling. And what's jumping? That's floating up in the air. And Mummy, Mum is not happy. Mum. And there's what's flying all over the air? Mud. That's right. Yeah? I'm swiftly going to move on to the next page. D. The last sound in this book. D. We have words such as dog. We have dip. Yeah? And so what's happening in this picture? Basically, the family is at the backyard, at their house. And what do you see? Oh, she has got... What has she got in that plate? Drinks. That's right. And what's that? Window. It's got a D in the middle. And what's this thing? Is a door. That's right. Okay. And you can also see the dog. Okay? So the 4 sounds that we've learned in this book are I for insect, D, dog, man, and N, net. Okay? We're going to trace the sound now. Let's get your pen and paper, yeah, your books. Let's get your books out now. We need to trace these. Some of you might be thinking, oh, I'm too old for that. I just want you to go for it, please. Because through these sessions, we will swiftly be moving to advanced levels of phonics and reading, yeah? But I just want to start from the very basic, yeah? So just bear with me, okay? So we're doing this first sound we're doing is I. Starting at the very top, all the way down and flick. And we put the dot at the top. That's your I, okay? Write that down. And if you've written it like that, give yourself a tick. Let's rub it off and write our next sound. We're going for N now. You start with the line part of it. We're going oh. Why is it wiggly? It's a wiggly line. We go all the way down. We go up again and flick. Okay? If you've done a give yourself a tick. All right? We move on to the next sound now. And that's It's similar to the N, but it's got 2 wobbly bits and a flick. Okay? That's your If you've done a give yourself a tick. All right? And let's move on to our last sound, and that's a D. We go all the way down, we go up a bit and round again. All right? And that's your D. All right? If you've done that, give yourself a tick. All right? Well done, children. If you've done all the sounds, give yourself a pat on the back. Pat on the back means well done. All right? Now we're going to be doing some writing with the sounds that we've just learned. All right? The first word I want you to write is dip. Okay? I want you to sound it out first and then write it down. Dip. And that's D. I. P. D. I. P. Dip. Okay? If you've written that down, let's move on to the next sound. The next sound I want you to write is man. Man. Let's sound it out. M. Ah. N. Man. M. Ah. N. Man. Write down man. Okay? And the last sound I want you to write is got 4. The last word has got 4 sounds. Pay attention. It's mint. I want you to write mint. These are all from the sounds that we've learned today. Mint. Now let's sound it out first. M. I. N. T. M. I. N. T. Mint. Mint. Now let's do some correction, self-correcting. The first sound was dip. Okay? If you got a D, give yourself a tick. I, tick. And P, tick. That's dip. Well done. And the second word was man. Give yourself a tick for Give yourself a tick for ah. And give yourself a tick for man. And the last word was mint. Give yourself a tick for Give yourself a tick for I. And a tick for N, and a tick for t. Mint. Mint is basically a type of herb, yeah, that we use for cooking, for drinking tea, and yeah, it makes a very nice tea actually, and it's also used a lot in toothpaste for brushing your teeth. All right, so that's both of our books finished, and both sets of our sounds finished. We will now be moving to our story part. Badger, did you enjoy the phonics?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to move up to our story part of our session today, our recorded session. But before I go, I want you to do more reading at home.
That's right. Lots of reading, children.
Yes, Badger loves reading. Do you love reading?
I do.
Okay, turn to your partner and say, I love reading. I love reading. Before we move to our story part, I want you to make a note of this. This is a website. I've basically created an account for you to log in to read stories online. I want you to go to the Oxford Owl website, and I want you to go to Oxford Owl class login. Oxford Owl class login. You can just type that in Google, and I want you to use this username and password. Okay, username is harvest and password is reading. Yeah, if you're struggling with this, ask your mummy or daddy to help you. Okay, so go to Oxford Owl reading, Oxford Owl class login, and use this username harvest and the password reading. And I want you to choose a book that is basically not too hard for you. I'll be sending you a list. Yeah, I'll be telling you which book, a list from which books to read from, okay? To help you with your reading so that you're reading correctly and you're accelerating with your fluency. But reading is essential. We need to read every day, okay? And yeah, let's now move on to our story part. Hi, and this is the story part of our recorded session. Now, the story I chose for you today is a very good story. It's like a folk story from Asia, and I hope you're going to like it. But because it's a very long story, it actually comes in chapters. I'm only going to tell you a few chapters for today, and we'll continue next week, okay? So, the magic flute. The magic flute. We all know what a flute is, right? It's like a stick. It's a musical instrument. Yeah, you blow on it. It's a blowing musical instrument that makes a nice sound. Yeah, much like the one he's got in his hand. Yeah, the magic flute. Now, that boy there, his name's Chang. Okay. And Chang is a Chinese name, I believe. Chang, Chang, his friends called. Chang, come and play your flute for us, the people shouted. Chang laughed and picked up his flute. He liked to look after the sheep, but he loved to play his flute. The people stopped and listened as soon as he started playing his flute. With beautiful music. Do, 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 do. I don't know, I'm just making it up. But people all stopped and listened. No one talked when Chang started to play. When Chang played, it made them think happy thoughts. When they heard the beautiful music of the flute, it made them think happy thoughts. Yeah? Now maybe you have some music that when you listen to it, it makes you think happy thoughts, right? Soon it was time for bed. Chang put down his flute. Then he took the sheep to the field near his house for the night. Now Chang was like a shepherd. He was mending sheep for other people. Okay? Looking after sheep, rather. The next morning, the emperor The emperor is like a type of king, basically. In the olden days, China used to have emperors. They don't have that anymore. An emperor is like a ruling king, okay, if you like. So the next day, the emperor came to Chang. He came to Chang's little house and said, why is the emperor? And then Chang thought to himself, why is the emperor here in my little house? Chang thought to himself. The emperor took Chang to the field. And then he asked him, how many sheep do you look after for me, Chang? The emperor asked Chang, how many sheep do you look after me? And Chang said, 20, sir. And how many sheep are in my field now? The emperor asked. I don't know, sir, said Chang. Then I will tell you. 19. Only 19? Chang counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 18, 19. There were only 19 sheep in the field. They are supposed to be 20. He's supposed to be looking after 20 sheep, remember? One of my sheep is lost. Why is it lost? The emperor asked. I don't know, sir, Chang replied. Then I will tell you. It is lost because you play the flute and you don't look after the sheep, the emperor said angrily. I think Chang's in trouble. The emperor took Chang back to his little house. Give me that flute. But sir, said Chang. Give me the flute now, Chang. The flute was under Chang's bed. Chang picked it up and gave it to the emperor. The emperor took the flute and snapped it in the middle, broke it in 2 pieces. Look, there on the floor. Oh dear. Now go, said the emperor, and don't come back. Oh man, what a mean emperor. Turn to your partner and say, what a mean emperor. Very mean, right? Why did he do that? Oh, chapter 2. Shall we read one more chapter? Okay, then I can hear lots of you say, yes, yes, please. Chapter 2. This chapter's called The Golden Bird. There was only 19 sheep because the emperor tricked Chang. He tricked him. That's right. He took 1 sheep out of the field and hid it somewhere at the back of the field. The emperor tricked Chang. What does it mean to trick someone? Have a little think. Trick, yeah, I can see some of you shouting, means to hide the truth. When you trick someone, you hide the truth. It's like cheating or lying, yeah? So he lied to Chang. He said that the sheep is lost, but actually it was him that hid the sheep. So he tricked Chang because he was jealous of Chang. That's why he tricked him. Because whenever Chang played the flute, lots of people gathered around him and they loved the beautiful sound of his flute, and that made the emperor jealous. Yeah, and that's why he hid it. The emperor walked home to his palace. Suddenly, he saw a flash of a golden bird at the top of the tree. The emperor stopped and looked high up on the branch, and he saw that beautiful golden bird. It's the most beautiful bird in the world, the emperor exclaimed. Then the bird started to sing. And it sings the most beautiful song, said the emperor. I must have it in my palace.
It will sing to me every day, he said to himself.
The emperor had 3 sons. How many sons? 3 sons. The next day, he asked them all to come and see him. So they all came out standing in front of their father.
Yesterday, I saw the most beautiful golden bird, he said to his sons. And it sang the most beautiful song. I want you to catch it for me, he said to his sons. If you catch it, you can have...
He was thinking. He was thinking for something for a reward.
You can have my silver sword,
he said to his sons. If you get me that beautiful golden bird, I'll give you my silver sword. What did the sons do? What do you think they did? Do you think they found the bird? Let's find out. The emperor's silver sword was beautiful. And it was very valuable. Yeah? Very valuable. What does valuable mean? Yeah, I can see some of you shouting the answer. Yes, valuable means something that's very expensive. That's got a lot of value to it. That's pricey. That people pay a lot of money for. Okay? So his sword was beautiful and valuable. The emperor's 3 sons were greedy. Jing, that's him, Jing, was the eldest son. I will go first, he said. I will catch the golden bird. And then father's silver sword will be mine, he said. His brothers laughed. You may be the eldest, but you will not catch that bird, Jing. And then it will be our turn to try, they said. Jing went to look for the golden bird. He didn't listen to them. He just carried on walking. And that's chapter 3. We're going to stop here. The story is going to get more and more exciting, and we will continue the story at our next recorded session. Okay? But for now, I want you to carry on reading. Go to that website that I told you about and read, yeah? And see you at our recorded, at our live session rather. Bye for now.